Rubrics are a very powerful way to provide more detailed guidance for our students and detailed feedback for students and make that feedback transparent to their parents so that students have an understanding of why they received the score they did, areas for growth, areas for improvement, and areas of mastery and achievement. So here, if I take a quick look at some places I'm using a rubric, I have an assignment over here. This is an assignment where I made a copy for each student of a Google Doc, and now I can monitor their progress. So here on the assignment view, it's very clear what is expected in each category for the kid. And on the student view, right, so I'm logged in here as a kid, they see the assignment, they have the rubric, and here they have their document where they've been working in Google Drive. And in this case, I'm going to submit this assignment so that I can hop over to the teacher side and we can take a look at those submissions. So here, the student has submitted the assignment, and now when I'm grading with a rubric, it's very easy to just pop this open. I'm going to take a look at the essay's organization, and this student scores 4 for organization. Now I come to their thesis category, and I'm going to give them a 3 on the thesis. Evidence category, again a 3, and this time with evidence, I want to add maybe some feedback about why they got the 3. Grammar and mechanics, 4, and then I save, and now that score is in my gradebook along with any feedback and comments that I left for the kid, right? So when the student or the parent clicks on that grade in their gradebook, they're going to see all the feedback and comments that I put associated with that score. So a rubric is helpful both proactively and then after the fact, right? It's very detailed as to why you have given that score to the student. So let's take a look at how to create rubrics and use them in my classes. When I'm in a class and I create an assignment, if I want to, I can create a rubric on the fly, and that rubric will always be available to me in that course. I could then copy that rubric over to my resources and use it in other classes. So that's one way to go, right? We'll click here, say add an assignment. I put in all the descriptors. I decide that this assignment is going to be involve a rubric, and here I have ones that already exist in this class. I have the ability to create a new rubric, right? So I could give it a title. I could begin to add criteria, description of that criteria, mark out the grading scale here. If I wanted 5 to 1 instead, I would just put a plus there, right? So now I would have a little bit more, right? 1, 2, 3, and then here I would change that to be a 4 and change this to be a 5. And then if I wanted to, I could add another criteria and keep going down and building this rubric. If I already had a rubric somewhere, right, that I'd put down in a Google Doc, I have to do this one-time work, right? I can't just upload it, unfortunately. So I would have to copy my criteria, copy this information, right, and then go ahead and build it in here. But once I have that rubric, not only can I use it, but I can also share it with colleagues. So a great thing to do by departments is create some common shared rubrics. Let's cancel this out though right now and take a look at a more efficient workflow. The first is to come to my resources, and I'm going to go to my personal resources. So here are my personal resources. I can add a resource, and this is a great place to build that rubric. Because once it's here, I can very efficiently add it to all of my classes. Alternatively, I could create a group, and that might be a departmental group, and then within that group, I could go ahead and create the rubric. So now my department can create rubrics together and we can all access them. And last, I can go and search the public resources where other Schoology educators have uploaded rubrics. So if I wanted to, I want an essay rubric. So I go to my file format here and I want to filter by rubrics. And I filter. And then I'm going to go and look for essay. And so here I have a bunch of different essays, and haven't necessarily been rated by other educators yet, but often people take things without rating them. So I want to take a look at it. To take a look, let's look at this essay writing rubric. I'm going to go ahead and add that to my resources. There we go. It's in my downloads. I could organize it in my home, but I'm just going to leave it in downloads for now. I'm going to go back to my personal and go to my downloads, and let's take a look at this essay rubric. All right, so it's got a lot of components that I like. I might want to modify any of these things, and then I save it. So I will cancel that out, but it's here. And now that it's here, I could go ahead and move it if I needed to, move it over here to my home resources. I could move it and share it with a group. But really what I want to do is very efficiently click add it to courses. And in this case, I'm going to pick and import that into that course. And I could do that for all of my other courses. As soon as I've put this rubric in that class, it's now available to me to use in any of my assignments. So there are multiple ways of building rubrics, multiple ways of organizing rubrics in your resources, and then it's very easy once you've added a rubric to be able to use it across your assignment.